Hi, Success Queen. Do you have all the outward signs of being successful, but underneath it all you feel exhausted and unhappy? I used to be exactly that way too, and I'm here to tell you that it doesn't need to be that way. Hi, I'm Tina Binden. I'm a women's potential and success coach, but most people know me as the Success Siren because I help women, particularly high achieving women, to hear that inner call or that inner song of their heart and their happiness. And most of us success girls leave that behind as we're striving to climb up the ladder of success. We become disconnected to who we are because we somehow fall into that beautiful and insidious trap of thinking that our success equals our value. And we become lost from what is authentically making us happy. So I just wanted to share with you a little bit today about my story and to see if you can relate to some of these things. So I was raised to be an excellence girl and a success girl. I came from a family of 6 children, and we were all brought up very strictly and encouraged to do our ultimate best, to try and to strive. And we all did that. So in school, it was never really that challenging. I knew how to study well. I knew how to push myself. So all throughout my younger schooling and also after I left college, I achieved really good grades, as did all my siblings. It was just that culture, it was that expectation. There was nothing in my mind to say otherwise. I thought everyone was the same, that everyone was striving, everyone was looking for the next thing, the next big thing, the next level. And so I went to university and got my degrees, and the same thing applied. Just working really hard, striving to prove myself, etc. But something happened along the way that I wasn't aware of. That mask of success became a permanent fixture in my life, to the point where if I wasn't achieving something visibly fantastic, something outstanding, I basically felt worthless. And I decided, even subconsciously, I think, to do other things to fill that gap. I think I knew inside that something was missing, but I didn't have the time and I didn't have the awareness to deal with it. So I just went for bigger things, bigger houses, newer cars, bigger holidays. And whilst they're all great things, and I'm not knocking those, they didn't help. They didn't help fill that gap. And that gap, looking back now, was that emptiness of not knowing what really made me happy, because I was striving for something that wasn't really of my own choosing. And so I had 3 success crashes. I do like to do things well, so I couldn't just be satisfied with 1 success crash. I had to have 3 before I started to understand what was going on. The first one was a physical success crash, where at one point in my career I couldn't go to work for more than 2 days a week for quite a number of months. My second success crash came in the form of a tiny bundle, which was my baby, my first baby. And I was completely overwhelmed by that because it didn't come with a manual. I felt all fingers and thumbs, and I was so used to just nailing things and, being good at things, that I had a complete emotional crash, I suppose. And my final crash came from, I think, just an exhaustion of the spirit. I was so exhausted from looking for happiness outside myself that I just couldn't do it. So I quit my job. And I took some time out to find out what made me happy. It came to a point where when people had said to me, "What do you really love to do? And if you could do anything in the world, what would you do?" And I had a big question mark. I had no clue. And so I went about on that search. And during that time, I got very deep into yoga and meditation, so much so that I became an instructor. And that was a really important time for me because it gave me some perspective and it gave me the opportunity to listen to that song inside myself. And at first it was very weak and I could barely hear the tiny notes, that tinkling of the song. But I persisted and I found it. And that's what I do today. I help other women who are passionate, courageous, driven women who know how to be successful and they know what they're doing to be successful, but they've lost touch with how, with the why they are successful. So if this relates to you, I have some exciting news. I am a certified Rock Your Feminine type coach. And part of that process was what released me from not knowing my why. It's a powerful process that reconnects you to yourself and it helps you to find that happiness and then use that happiness, that understanding of your strengths and your patterns and your potential, and then building a business that is a direct extension of you, your why, how you show up in the world and who you are. So if this is interesting to you, hop on over to tinabinden.com. I'll try and put a link down below. Technology is not my strongest suit. And we can arrange for a success on your own terms discovery session where we can look at where you are now and where you truly long to be and bridge that gap for you. Because it doesn't need to take success crash after success crash or to be miserable. Doesn't take any of those things. And I'd love to save you the steep learning curve that I had to go through. So thank you for listening and I look forward to talking with you soon. Bye for now.